Hi, and welcome back to RH2 Racing. We're glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about Project Miata. We're going to look at where it's come from, where it is now, and where it's going. As you probably remember, when we bought this Miata, it had some issues with the exterior. The paint was flaking, as you see here. Had some issues with the bumper, flaking pretty bad, and just kind of normal paint issues for a 20-plus-year-old car. So what we've done is we've actually gone through and painted it, and actually I got to do a cut and buff on this. Got some orange peel in the clear, and it will brighten up quite a bit when I actually do that. But overall, as you can see, no more flaking paint. We also did some upgrades. Like as you see here, these came from Mx5 Miata. Nice little blinker air intakes. This is all just a functional intake with your blinker. Takes your stock blinker bulb, and I got a video on that. We had to get a whole new door because this door was kind of trashed. And in that, we actually got new mirrors, so we put those on. We also got new taillights put in with the black surrounds. I think those look pretty sharp. Let me go ahead and hit this button here. Got new headlights put in. These are Jeep Halo LED headlights, so they're real nice and bright, and they work like a charm. And that's pretty much about it as far as the exterior goes, except for one little project that we're working on. We're going to be adding flares, but that's going to be talked about here in a minute, and that's what those are. Alright, now into the interior. On the interior, you'll notice some big changes. There was a seat cover on here. The seat wasn't that bad. I can see why he put the seat cover on. Looks like it's getting a little frayed here, but overall, the seat's actually in pretty good, decent condition. Got a couple new items in here, and we'll show you what that was like. As you remember, the steering wheel had a steering wheel cover on it, and it was all chewed up. The steering wheel underneath it was all chewed up. Had a T-handle shifter that just didn't really fit the car, and a little JVC radio as well. So let's see what we've done to it. The biggest change is a removable Momo steering wheel with an NRG quick release, which is so much better than the stock one. We ended up putting a new shift boot in here because the other one was ripped, and a shift knob. This is actually from Mx5 Miata as well. This is called their Voodoo shift knob, if I'm not mistaken. Then we travel back in time to the 2000s with our little pop-up unit here. It's actually pretty cool. It's got a lot of functionality. You can move this so the glare is not on it. There we go. And it works really good. I would play this, but it's copyrighted music. Good old Red Barchetta. But that works like a charm. We ended up putting in some kicker speakers, a little dark on that side. Let me see if I can see it on this side. Yeah, put some kicker speakers in there, and this is a 320 watt head unit here, so it works really good. It does what it's supposed to. One reason why I went with this as well is it's got a neat little feature here. If I go into that, let me do it so you can see it. Bend it down. There we go. If I go to rear camera, we actually have installed a reverse camera. Not real necessary in a Miata, but when you're in a tight parking space at Walmart and the top's up and it's raining, helps out a lot, that's for sure. And this is all touchscreen and everything. It uses Bluetooth. I've got a USB stick in there right now with all my music, and just works like a charm, works like it's supposed to. So that just about does it there. Shows you kind of where we're at, where we've come from. Put a little bit of mods in here so far. You've seen most of them if you've seen the videos. Our plans are putting on the fender flares and going really wide with the stance, just because that's just what I like. And if you notice, these are pretty wide. And I'm in the midst of riveting these on and everything, that's why they have those. But if I just stand this up, you can see that that's a pretty wide fender flare. It's going to be pretty neat. It's going to go about 15 by 9, maybe 15 by 10s, zero offset all the way around. We'll see how that does. The only thing that's stopping me right now is I really need 2 people when I'm putting those on. They're kind of awkward to put on there by yourself. But other than that, that's going to be it. As far as exterior, like I said, I do have to cut and buff this to get rid of this. This paint, it says that you have to cut and buff it in order to get it to shine. So we might actually be doing some wet sanding and cutting and buffing today in the garage, just trying to see if we can buff this up and make it look better. And also got to look at fixing my passenger side windshield wiper. For some reason this isn't working. The driver's side's working, so something must have come loose in the arm there, but we're going to take a look at that and see what we can do. Yeah, well, that's a problem. Something's going on with the passenger side, just not turning. So I think I'm going to take this cap off and see if that just backed out there. Alright, the first thing I'm going to check here is I'm going to try to pop off this little cap. Try to see if there's something underneath that's loose. Probably it. That was pretty loose. So let's try and see if that worked. Fingers crossed. Alright, as you see, that fixed it. Gotta love those simple fixes. I'm just gonna put this cap back on here, and that's job done for that. Well, we've got the hood up. Some other things that we're gonna be working on. I'm gonna end up painting this red. I've got some wrinkle red finish for that. As you see, it is pretty oily and nasty. I've got a new gasket for that, and that's gonna shine up the engine bay quite a bit. We're going to do a complete engine detail as well. And over on this side is your EGR valve. We've got to clean that. I'm getting a code on that. That's your exhaust gas recirculation, and it gets gummed up over time with oil deposits and things like that. And with over 200,000 miles on this engine, it definitely needs to be cleaned, and I'm getting a light for it, so definitely need to do that. If you noticed, changed out the dipstick for a new one, so we actually have a top to that, so that's good. And then our plans are to put a nice little twirly boy right here. We're going to end up going turbo. I'm going to show you guys the infamous eBay turbo kits and seeing what the ins and outs of them are. So with that turbo swap, what we're going to end up doing is doing the eBay turbo. I know everybody's like, no, don't do it, but I've got good feelings about this. I think it's going to work, and for the budget, it's going to be great. It's about $500–600. The only thing I need to do first, though, is I need to get a Mega Squirt PMP, put it in there, change out the ECU, do a little tuning. So that'll be probably coming first before we do anything at all. Do have one more thing coming. I got a new exhaust system. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we got a new exhaust system coming up here in the next few days or so. So we should have a nice little install on that as well. I think it's going to be something you guys are going to be looking forward to and wanting to watch. So make sure your notifications are on, you subscribe to us, like the video, share it. I gotta tell you, this is like the American dream in its raw state here. A lot of people say, well, you know, if you want to do YouTube, it's so easy, you know, you can make so much money doing it. It's a lot of work, but it is like the American dream. Where else can you start up your own business, which I consider this being a business? But it all depends on you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing to do it. Just hit the little button. And you know what? It puts people like us in business. So if you want to support your local people, support your car community, I tell you what, that's the easy way to do it. Just click a button. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it sure helps me tremendously. And you'll see as things progress, maybe the garage will start getting better, maybe the cars will start getting better, and it all depends on you guys. So until then, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.